This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Now, as I've been going through things here, I've also been trying to figure out, where to go, what to do, how to do things, and so forth and so on. And, I've come across things where you got to make some really tough decisions, but I always thought that I would never have a tough decision on this particular game, bardsung. And I thought I would be able to kind of just let this go. But as I started doing my research, because I have been researching things to see if they improve or not, especially if you guys have seen at Miniature Market, and I really want to hit this home. When this came out, this was a $200 game. A $200 game 2 years ago. You could check my video back 2 years ago where I kind of go over everything, kind of go through the mechanics and stuff like that. But as I revisit this, it's made me think that maybe I should keep this. And the reason being is I went onto the forums, went onto BGG, and downloaded a bunch of things. Now, I'm going to go down and I just want to show you a couple of things. I want to show you a couple of the miniatures and stuff like that. But we'll talk more about this on the other side. And why, if you haven't got this, or you did have this, and want to bring this back in, you can get it for $70 at our dear friends over at Miniature Market. $70. $70. And what do you get? You get a lot of stuff, and we're going to be talking about that. So let's go down to the table. I just want to show you the book. I want to show you a couple of things here. Nothing too extensive. You can go check out my other video on what I talk about this, but we'll come back up and we'll talk more about it. Let's go down to the table. So I kind of want to hit home on a couple things. For $70, what you're getting almost 70 models with this, and they are very, very good detailed models that'll paint up very, very, very well. Your heroes are really nice and detailed, so you're going to be able to really, if you're into painting, it'll be perfect. Another thing that really hits home with this is when you set up your character, you have this nice little tray here that you can set up your abilities, your card, and what you do, and some of the other things, and dice, and different equipment that you'll be putting in here. The real problem originally with this game was the rule book. And it wasn't the worst thing on the planet. Okay, this rule book really just kind of, for a lot of people, was hard to get through, and it was a bit of a mess. But the tutorial, and here's just kind of showing you some of the other creatures and stuff that you're going to get with this. Look at the size of this. This alone is worth $70. Okay, if you went and got something over at Kingdom Death Monster at this size, how much would it cost you? Or something for Dark Souls, how much would it cost you? When you can go get this whole game for $70, whether you take the miniatures and proxy them for something, like there were certain things that I was going through here that I said, oh, okay, you know something? I really need some giant rats for my Warhammer. I'll play this game and I'll be able to take the giant spider, the rats. There were a couple other creatures that I saw in here that I could really use. The gelatinous cube I thought would be a little interesting. And some of the different orcs and ogres. You need ogres for some of the new stuff in Warhammer, Warhammer Quest 95. And then you're going to get this main player board. And this is the thing where you kind of start building your dungeon in here. And again, I'm trying to keep this quick because this is more, I just don't want to keep rehashing old stuff. And there are different sections that you are going to go in. When you move sections, not squares. Combat, really easy. And like I said, everything fits into that beautiful tray that you're going to get. And, the rule book has a good tutorial. All right, this tutorial really works, but figuring out some of the other stuff You can download, some pages and some really great cheat sheets that really help you with this, and some FAQ over at Board Game Geek. And when I downloaded that, it made me kind of go, you know something? Even though this game is kind of grindy, I kind of want to play it again, because it does have a lot going on with it. Okay, just to get away from the rule book, you have an enormous adventure book. I mean, enormous. And the problem is that, a lot of people said, hey, this is too grindy. Okay, I understand that. But sometimes you just want to have that grind, sometimes just constant battles and things like that. And then there's a whole story with it, which really isn't that bad. I remember from starting off. And these were the kind of things that I kind of went, I really want to maybe redo this again, replay this again. Now, there is another box, the Lost Levels. If you were going to pay $70, it might be worth it to go get the Lost Levels, because I heard the Lost Levels were very, very good. And you combine that with this, and I think you got a really pretty good different type of dungeon crawl that you can really mess around with. Again, I mean, beautiful miniatures, okay? 900 cards, okay? Another thing, and I think we'll talk more about some of this stuff up here, but I really think for $70, how can you go wrong? Okay, $70, you get a war, you get a game from Compass Games, okay, a war game, you get a map, 100 cardboard figures and a rule book for $70, okay? That's nothing. This, you're getting a whole lot of stuff for $70, and I think this is where this really shines. This Greater Demon is he's just glorious. But I think I'm going to hunt down the Lost Levels and kind of continue my journey with this. So let's go up top. I want to talk more about this. So now, in the process of cleaning things out, you're wondering, well, why is he talking about this? This is kind of a middle tier, this game got some hate. It also got a lot of love too. Why are you talking about this? Why are you talking about bringing in an expansion and stuff like that? For people that haven't got a chance to get this, and with it at $70 while it lasts, okay, at Miniature Market, I think it's a tremendous deal. And I wanted to bring this back because I saw it was $70, and I said, this might be worth talking about and taking another look at, especially if I can really investigate those Lost Levels and go, okay guys, for $120, where you would have paid just for a base box of something, whether it was the Ultimate Tenares Adventures, which we'll talk about that later this week or next week, because that's a massive confusion. I took a look at this, and I just felt, geez, there's an awful lot in here that you can do an awful lot with. Because I was looking to get some extra figures for Warhammer Quest 95, and while I want to keep them in this box here, I don't want to separate them, but I know if I paint them up, keep them in here, I can pull them for certain things that our mighty good friend Little Monk has created. And I went, okay, proxy. And I was going to go buy some individual figures. I needed a werewolf. I needed this. I needed an ogre. I needed an orc shaman. And just totaling that up came up to almost like $30. And I said, well, wait a minute. Why would I do that when I can possibly go get bardsung? And I realized, oh, hey, let me go check that out, see what's in there. All of a sudden it starts making sense, And, with the fixes on BGG and some of the resources out there, this is, you know, a good 7.5, 7.8 game. Okay, on the scale of 10. Is it the greatest dungeon crawl out there? No, it isn't. But is it something different? Is it something fun? And sometimes you just like to grind. I know I do. Sometimes I just want to grind. And just, if I know a system, just have some fun and slaughter and upgrade my weapons, which you can. Okay. The personal growth really is not the greatest on this. Again, being transparent and honest. But I do think for $70 of a $200 game, from our good friends at Steamforged Games, who really make great games, this one shouldn't be overlooked. And I really feel in my heart of hearts that if you're looking for something, especially with money as tight as it is nowadays, and you're looking for something that you're going to get about 50 to 60 hours worth of gameplay out of for $70, this is your guy. This is your guy. And I think you won't be disappointed with the amount of stuff that you get out of this bad boy. Bardsung, Legends of the Ancient Forge, worth a second look, especially when you can pick it up for $70 at Miniature Market. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob, always looking out for you, always trying to give you guys the best of the best. Until next time, we'll see you soon, everybody.